What is up, everybody? In today's video, we'll be talking about a omega block pattern that's going to change the weather significantly in multiple severe weather and flash flooding events that are coming. Let's get right into this video. So the first thing we are going to be talking about here is this omega block pattern that we currently do have across a lot of the U.S. where we have two different low pressure systems, one in portions of Kentucky and another one in California into Arizona. And this is what this is going to mean is we're going to have a lot of warmer weather into the northern U.S. I'm going to change this pen color real quick, but in the northern U.S., a lot more warmer weather, especially up here in these areas, and then a lot cooler weather further south, but some more severe weather potential in these areas in between the two different low pressure systems. This area is at concern for potential severe weather the next few days. So that's basically what we are going to be talking about with this omega block pattern that we do have that is going to set the stage for a lot of our weather. Luckily, this is going to end once we get a little bit later into the week, but this is going to last for the next few days or so, this omega block pattern across a lot of the U.S. here. Now, if we do get into the future of the weather real quick, we're going to have a big storm system start to develop, and this is going to develop already on Tuesday with a lot of heavy rainfall and snow in the mountains and heavy rainfall across Texas into New Mexico, and this is going to move into the morning hours on Tuesday. So this is going to occur Monday through Tuesday into even Wednesday, and it's going to dump a lot of rain across portions of Texas into Louisiana, Mississippi, into Alabama, areas where we could see a flash flooding threat for these areas, and then a severe weather threat in this area just circled. So severe weather threat and flash flooding threat in that area that kind of overlaps each other there, but that's what we are really going to be talking about here. And if we already do talk about this, we have a day one severe weather risk already today with a slight risk of severe weather across portions of New Mexico and western Texas, extreme western Texas here. We do have an isolated risk of tornadoes, but it's not anything too significant. But we also have a marginal risk of severe weather in the eastern U.S. with an isolated tornado threat with it too. One in Florida and another one in West Virginia to North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, and more areas here today. The main threat will be the hail risk for today, with a significant risk of hail across portions of New Mexico into Texas that we are watching for today. The wind threat will be there, but it's going to be a little bit lower today. But the main threat will just be that hail risk in New Mexico and Texas. Now, we do have an enhanced risk of severe weather tomorrow on Monday for portions of Texas into New Mexico here, the border of New Mexico and western Texas. And this is a pretty small enhanced risk, and the slight risk is a little bit bigger. This is really what we are talking about with a big-time hail threat tomorrow in portions of western Texas, and then the marginal risk cuts a little bit further north. But I'm pretty sure Lubbock is on this. Amarillo is just in the marginal, but Lubbock may be in the slight risk with this here. Now, we do have a 5% risk, so a little bit of a higher tornado risk tomorrow across portions of Texas that you do need to be watching with a 5% risk. So we could see a few tornadoes in portions of southwestern Texas on Monday here, and then a little marginal really low tornado risk, but not zero across portions of southern Florida. And then the main threat will be the significant hail potential that we do have tomorrow on Monday. See that black hatched area? That does mean a significant hail risk in that area. So that's significant risk of 2+ inch in diameter hail tomorrow in Texas. And then the red area is an enhanced risk of hail. So definitely pretty significant hail risk tomorrow, and then a 15% slight risk of wind in the yellow tomorrow there too. Now, if we do go to the day 3 outlook, once we get closer to this, the probabilities could be upgraded a little bit in the future to maybe an enhanced risk or so. But this is going to be looking like an all hazards threat, damaging winds, large hail, and a few tornadoes possible. We could even see an upgraded tornado threat in the future if the models do end up being right, unless they downtrend. And once we get closer to this, but the main area potential is for portions of Texas into Louisiana, in this region here. Houston is under this severe weather threat, and the green and yellow areas are going to be the highest severe weather potential for this event, but especially the yellow regions for that all hazards threat of damaging winds, large hail, and potentially a tornado. So that's basically what we are watching across the next few days in the severe weather. If you see no weather up here in this part of the U.S., and that's due to that Omega block pattern that is blocking any severe weather across this part of the U.S. and kind of confining that severe weather towards the south in this region right here, with the biggest rain that we are going to see occurring. So basically quiet weather. Everything besides this is going to be pretty quiet for most of the U.S. besides a little bit of a flooding rainfall threat in the northeast there too. So let's probably get into this flooding threat now. So if we do get into this flooding threat, we do now have, this is the Weather Prediction Center's precipitation total outlook. With this, if you do see this big red swath, this is where we're going to see the heaviest precipitation here with a ton of rainfall, with the bullseye being in portions of Louisiana and Mississippi areas, and this is going to be from the storm that's going to roll through over the next few days or so, with the heaviest rainfall in Tuesday and Wednesday across portions of Louisiana and Mississippi, and this is going to cause a significant flash flooding threat across portions of Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi, with a lot of rain dumping in the yellow and red areas over the next few days or so, and then another area of rain with potentially up to 3 to 4 inches of rain in some spots across Massachusetts, Connecticut, and upstate New York in the northeast, but the flash flooding threat those days is going to be a little bit lower than what it's going to be in this area. Mostly just a lot of rain in the northeast. Now, I know this kind of looks funky. It's because I'm using Twitter to look at this Weather Prediction Center outlook, but we do have a moderate risk of flash flooding in effect on day 3's outlook. This is the day 3 excessive rainfall outlook with a moderate risk, 3 out of 4. It goes marginal, slight, moderate, and high on the Weather Prediction Center scale. So anywhere in the slight and moderate areas on day 3, which would be on Tuesday, need to be really, really weather aware for a flash flooding threat, potentially significant, dangerous flash flooding threat across Louisiana, southern Arkansas into Texas, and Mississippi. So definitely be watching this significant threat that you do need to be paying attention to. Remember, turn around, don't drown when encountering flooded roads. So I'm definitely pretty concerned about this flooding threat that you do need to be really weather aware for on Tuesday, especially in those yellow and red areas, as we're going to get plenty of training of rainfall and plenty of heavy rainfall, potentially 5 to 6, maybe even 7 inches of rain in Louisiana and Mississippi in some spots on Tuesday. So definitely a significant flooding threat. Alright, I hope everybody did enjoy this video. Make sure to like and subscribe to my channel for more weather updates and severe weather updates to keep you weather aware during the weather across the U.S. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. There's going to be a lot of significant weather across portions of the deep south with that Omega block pattern really confining the severe weather to the southern U.S. and calmer weather and warmer weather in the northern portions of the U.S. That flooding threat is going to be pretty significant, so make sure to be weather aware. Hope you guys enjoy this video, and bye everybody.